Hello. I am live and here to be happy, joyous, and do some readings for you guys who all are joining me on this beautiful full moon, blood moon in fall, which is the hunter's season also, hunter's moon. And here to tell you a little bit about some new things that are going on right now in the earth plane that we should all be aware of. So, things that are going on right now in the earth are as follows. There is a fire in California that has caused a major power outage, meaning that they decided, the government, to turn the power off for people. This is affecting us hugely. Watch for different fluctuations in the vibrational frequency of there's also a polar shift, which is affecting NASA, or the indigenous tribal people who are prophets, spoke to NASA and told them of the changes in the earth changes. So it's not global warming, it's just that the sun is coming up differently than before. It's starting in a different place. This is affecting the atmosphere. So our atmosphere is hugely affected. And there are ships also over in China, or Shanghai, that are getting ready they hold fuel. I wrote this all down because this was information, a heads up information. Okay. So Mark Rossano, who is a Bloomberg analyst, he affects the stock market, and he said that the supply of chains and economics in our world right now, because of the trans-Asian shipping crisis. At the port of Shanghai, there are cargo ships that hold cryptogenic tanks, which are fuel and natural gas, and there's 200 million of them, or dollars in these ships, I should say. Each ship is worth $200 million. And there's a shipping crisis. They only have 500 ships, and we need 15 times the ships in the world to import natural gas. So they hold floating storage containers. There's going to be a huge slump in about 6 weeks of a shortage that we need natural gas. So the companies that are really worth money are Dominion Energy, Sempra, Hyundai, and STX Group, for all of you who do trades and stock market things. I'm talking about these things. Also, Netflix is a good one to invest in. So basically, I started out saying, things about the Earth's changes right now is huge because of everything that's going on. Climate changes are huge. My spirit guides have been talking about climate changes a lot lately. They keep saying the Earth changes over and over again. So who wants to join me on here? I know it's early. I'm very early. And in other countries, it's 9:24 here, Eastern Standard Time. And I'm just going to write, there's a full moon warning. There's no way around it. I just got a synchronicity here. I'm going to read this. So kind of, you've been standing at a crossroads right now in the full moon for a while, struggling to make a decision that could change the entire course of your future. Now that a full moon is shining brightly right now, it's a great time to really focus on the change that you've been trying to make. We're going into the 5th dimensional universe. If you're stuck in the 4th dimensional universe, that's not good. So you need to climb up higher to the 5th dimension. That would be shining bright in the bold sign of Aries, the full moon. and you may be ready to move forward, but this impulse energy has the potential to lead you astray also. So don't get stuck going astray. Keep on your path, examine the situation at every angle that you're going through, and discover what's hidden and uncover what's hidden. So this was just a little sign that I got. I'm going on Facebook Live also, because I know I have a lot of people here on Facebook. So I usually do multitasking, and I go on Facebook Live and YouTube Live to get more people to come over to YouTube. Isn't that ingenious? Okay, so here I am on Facebook Live, and I'm also going to float over, and I'm on YouTube Live. And I told everybody today is the full moon. So the full moon is in Aries, and it's the full blood moon, and it's going to affect our path, our spiritual path, and we might get a little led astray. Okay, so one person joined me on YouTube. So if you want, come over to YouTube. Lightning Spark 100 joined me on YouTube. Thank you. And the people that are on Facebook Live with me are Charles Biggs, Steve Huckley, and Lori Palmer. Thanks for being here, guys. I am on both YouTube Live and Facebook Live. And yes, it's okay to ask a quick question. I'm trying to get people to gravitate over to YouTube today. But if you want to stay on Facebook, it's fine. But I'm live on YouTube. So the first question over on YouTube is Lightning Spark 100 says, is it okay to ask a question? Of course it is. Of course, of course. That's why I'm here for you, Lightning Spark. So please, everyone on Facebook Live, subscribe to me on my subscribers page on YouTube, because I do a lot of YouTube videos, and I'm going to be starting to do more every day, probably. So I'm going to list ahead of time, and you can look on my YouTube page. Okay, so Lightning Spark 100 wants to know, how did Evelyn feel when we saw each other yesterday? We haven't seen each other since May. Okay, well, that is quite a long time. So you got May, June, July, August, September, October. Okay, I do feel like she, my spirit said, and your spirit said, her eyes are roving, whatever that means, meaning she's always looking over your shoulder to other people or whatever, but she's full of wonder right now in her life. I do feel like she was really happy to see you, though, Lightning Spark 100. By the way, I'm answering a question over on YouTube for all who join me, because I'm live on YouTube. So if you want to switch over to YouTube, it's fine, because that's where I'm answering the questions. But I'm Facebook Live here, too, to answer questions. So, I feel like everybody we're going through a really huge time spiritually, especially because today, the powerful full moon, blood moon. So you want to be careful, and you want to think only thoughts of good and positivity around Evelyn, Lightning Spark. So I do feel like music is a connection with you guys together. Listening to the radio, listening to, for whatever reason, Pandora, there's a song connection possibly. Good morning, Melissa Carpy. Thanks for joining me here. And good morning, all of you over here. We have Kevin Love. We have Ross. Sorry, Russ. I don't have my glasses on. Cindy Wright. And we have Steve Huckley says, I'm having a problem finding a girlfriend. What's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with you, honey. Never think that. Nothing is wrong with you. Sometimes it's just divine intervention when we spiritually find somebody. I mean, it's just the right time. We could go for 4 or 5 years single and not find anyone. And it's because God and the universe didn't want us to find anyone. It wasn't the divine right timing. So, I do feel like you got to quit stating that you can't find someone. I'm going to try to prop the phone up on this lamp or something. Hopefully it'll stay up. Oh no, you know what? The heat's on that lamp. I can't do it that way. So I don't have to hold this phone the whole time while I'm live on here. So can I ask what are her intentions with me? Okay, her intentions are to, I feel like the spirits are telling me right away, it'll backfire if you push too far with her, because she is not about going fast, unfortunately. She's about taking it very slow. She would like a pure friendship. She stays strictly friendship right now, or separate or away from you a little bit. I realize you're in love with her. They said, the spirits confirmed that you are in love with her. Love is illusionary. We have lust, we have love. I mean, when you fall in love with somebody, you have to take time to build and grow, because friendships are the highest form of lovers. So if you can, her intentions are to build a friendship with you, I believe, because that's what the spirits are making me feel the vibe on here today. So, now they said something about the cattle industry, and I don't know who's watching having to do with the cattle industry, but a spirit is talking about the cattle industry. I do feel that the earth changes are due to the cattle industry, possibly because they emit fumes. Just the cattle being on the earth, which there are millions and trillions of cattle farms, to make beef for us to eat. The best thing to do is limit your meat intake to save the environment. So 1 day per week of beef, if you're going to go, or you could go totally free and raw vegan with, and I know this is alarming and shocking to a lot of people that I say this, but this is, if you do your research, you'll realize that this is the reason why we're emitting these gases that the cow industry lets off by just being raised that many cattle on the earth plane, because the earth intended millions of people to live on the earth, but the earth intended for everyone to not eat, I don't believe, so much meat. We don't need that much. It's like the Native Americans that were living freely on the land. Maybe once every 2 weeks they got a buffalo that crossed their path, and then they ate off that buffalo for months into the winter, and they didn't have any other meat for a long time. So that was mainly how we're intended to live. And so there's going to be a lot of earth plane changes, which everybody should be aware of. So the elders told NASA, the prophecy elders who predict these things over in the tribes that are very high shamanistic Native American elders, they told NASA, and NASA is taking their prophecy seriously, that the sun is rising in a different part of the earth now, and it's coming up differently, and it's affecting our environment, affecting our atmosphere. So it's not so much global warming as it is our atmosphere is changing. And now there's this huge fire over in California that's going to affect a lot of people and things, because they had to do a major power shutdown of electricity in California because of this fire. So I'm talking about the earth changes that our problems with relationships and all these things, it's minimal compared to what's going on in the earth. Okay, so that's what you should be mainly focused on. But I get it. People want their soulmates, and if you're lonely, you need a relationship. So Lightning Spark 100, that's what I can tell you, that her intentions are to work on and build and grow a friendship. Okay. Now, Melissa Carpy over here on YouTube. Everybody who's watching me on Facebook Live, if you want to go ahead and switch over to YouTube, you can. But if you want to stay here and watch me here, it's fine. I'm needing more subscribers to my YouTube channel, so please subscribe, because I'm going live a lot more on YouTube, and I'm going to be answering psychic and your mediumship questions live free, which you get $100 value deal with me, because I'm usually $100 for a reading. These are short mini readings, but that's how much of a deal you're getting. So Bob Sabo is here. Hi, Bob. I'm glad you're doing good. Good to see you on here. Hope you're drumming a little bit. Glad your heart's okay. Good. I saw that on Facebook and I was happy. Okay, so we have Hail. We have Melissa Carpy here. Melissa asked a question. I have a question too. Is John and I going to be together? What is his intentions with me? Thank you. Okay, so a lot of people are confused about intentions from the other party. Why are we confused about intentions? When we focus on the source and the power of now in the present, that's where the happiness and joy lies. We can't focus so much on the future of relationships. We have to focus on the present. It's really hard to have that Buddhist-like philosophy, though, to be present and be grateful for someone in their life. Because if you're sitting there, Melissa Carpy, saying, oh my God, what are his intentions for me in the future? If you've known him for 30 years, you should just, and I'm not trying to sound judgmental, maybe I am a little bit, but the intentions are pure, and you need to know that you've known each other for a very long time. That's really, really good. So I do feel like he also is strictly friendship with you and a relationship with you too, intimate relationship. But I feel like, again, it's don't grasp on to the needing to know his intentions. I feel like the spirits will tell me his intentions, though, and I will get to that, because they said you're fragile. You're fragile, Melissa Carpy. So, meaning you need to know these things, because you've been hurt before, possibly, or whatever. Maybe you've had some wrongdoings even in the past with him, and that he did something to you. So he is your walking earth angel, though. And, it makes me grab an angel here that I got at October's store. See, it's out of a stone, beautiful angel. And I'm going to be reading today at 2:00, actually, at October's, for anybody who wants to come up and see me. That's in Lakewood on Hilliard and Madison. It used to be Cleveland Paranormal Society, and now she's branched off and has her own shop called October's. OKT, just like October, except with a K and not a C. So you can find that on her page, and you can go to her page and directly friend her page on Facebook, because that's where I'm going to be today. So you can meet me live if you want. And you can get a really good deal on a reading with me today and have a one-on-one session with me. And that's a whole hour session, or, well, today it'll be half an hour. And you're getting a good value for your bucks. So anybody who wants to come out to October's today and see me, that's where I'm going to be. So hi, Kim. I'm glad you joined me on Facebook Live. I'm on YouTube Live also. So I'm answering some questions over here on YouTube. I have my little magical butterfly behind me, and I'm talking about the earth changes and what to expect for the near future. So within the next 6 weeks, there will be a supply of natural gas that are these ships sitting there in Shanghai that are just this different kind of fuel that they're able to store over there. And these ships are just sitting there. And we really need about 15 times the ships. So there's $2 million worth of ships that have the storage of this crypto fuel, it's called. Hold on, I gotta get the notes again. I just was made aware of this because Mark Bloomberg, which is the, one second. So we have like a shipping crisis, and these storage ships hold natural gas, but they're crypto or cryogenic tanks. That's what it is. Cryogenic tanks. So they have frozen fuel and natural gas in them. So there's going to be a supply and demand of our chain economics shipping crisis, which, affects us in the world in about 6 weeks. So in 6 weeks, we can expect things to affect us as far as the China and import natural gas and our imports from China, having to do with. So, the companies that are going to really profit are Dominion Energy, Sempra, Hyundai, and STX Group, and anybody who does like trading or stock market would really hugely profit from these investments. That's just a little prophecy, psychic prophecy but I was, listening to a talk. He does have a crystal ball, although he says he doesn't have a crystal ball, but it's Mark Rossano, who is Bloomberg analyst. So anybody who invests in the trading or stock markets, need to know this. All right. So anyway, thank you, Catherine Ryan. You get a prize for switching over, and please subscribe to me too. So Catherine Ryan switched over to YouTube. She wins a free prize. I'm trying to get more viewers on my YouTube and more subscribers on my YouTube, because YouTube is where you get paid. Facebook, I do these free readings, and I don't get paid on Facebook. So the more subscribers I have, the more I make money on YouTube. So please, if you support me, and I've read for you many times for free, just go over there and just subscribe to my YouTube page. That's all I'm asking you to do, really, or follow me and go to my YouTube and watch me on there instead. And it's Jane Voneman, Psychic and Medium. Psychic and Medium Jane Voneman-DuPerow is what you Google on YouTube to find me. So, okay. So, okay, did I answer your question, Melissa Carby? I'm sorry if I didn't stay in the focus too much. Hi, Tom Dighton, however you say your name. I remember meeting you once, and I'm glad you're here. I think I met you in Lilydale. Catherine Ryan switched over. Thank you so much, Catherine. You get a free set of Spirit Dice Paranormal game for switching over. And if you just private message me your address, I'm so glad you switched over. You get this, and I'll ship it out to you in the mail. And I'm going to throw in a 10% discount off a reading with me, a personal reading. And also, for people to download my app is really helpful. I have a new app now, and it's under Apps Village. And it's you can go on my Facebook Psychic and Medium Public Figure page and scroll down, and you'll see the app on there, and you can download the app. It'll be on your little phone, and you get a big discount on your reading and a free candle if you schedule your appointment with the app, or just even if you download the app, because I just like as many people to download the app. So we got a lot of things going on. Okay. So good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm glad you all are awake on a Sunday morning with the full blood moon. Don't forget that it's a full blood moon, so it's going to really highly, highly affect us in our energy field today. How do you all feel? How do you guys all feel? It sounds like a lot of people are unsure and unclear of what path they're going in with relationship. That's huge. So a lot of Melissa Carpy asked a question, and Lightning Spark 100 asked a question about their relationship, and they wanted to know about intentions with people. Pure intentions with, Melissa says, John. And what are his intentions? Okay. No, I know usually females want marriage, in the future. That's what they want the guy. I would say if you've been with him for 30 years and you've known him for 30 years, maybe you've not been in a relationship with him though for 30 years, the chances are good that you've built a very solid, firm friendship foundation. So I really like that. I'm waving to everybody on here. And I really like, Melissa Carpy, that you have very good intentions of the heart, but just keep it positive yourself, love yourself more than you love him, things like that, work on yourself, because if he sees that in you and he sees how happy and joyous you are, and he doesn't get put off by your energy focusing on him too much, then he's going to just fall at your feet and love you tremendously. Okay. So just remember that, because that's really what it takes. It's if a woman is too pushy with a guy, or guys really, they typically like to be independent, and they like to just do their own thing, and women can't be too gripping or they lose the man, you know. So I I just feel like I've realized this after 16 years of marriage, you know, that men ultimately like their freedom, just like women ultimately like their freedom too. We all like our freedom. So the relationships that work is not to put too much of a strain or a hold on anyone, because really everybody's ultimately free. That's the Buddhist philosophy, that attachments cause suffering. If you push your attachments that you're attached to a person onto it, you know, whether it be even financially, then it does cause pain and suffering. So how does a woman get a man to love them more? You know, that's a huge question that a lot of women ask me. I feel like how they do it is they detach emotionally and they love themselves more. That's how a man loves you more. Because if you are so pushing, or controlling, men can't handle that either. They can't handle control freaks that try to control everything. So that's a huge one. All right. So Karen is here. Karen Larson Shapiro. Hi, Karen. Good to see you, Karen, on here. Karen says, hello back from cruise. Oh, I'm so glad you went on your nice cruise. Granddaughter arrived 4 days later. Awesome. I'm so happy. Congratulations that you have your baby, beautiful granddaughter. John came through as a single monarch butterfly all through the cruise, an outside hospital window. I am guessing, but it was so comforting. That's awesome. The spirits definitely like to come through with the monarch butterflies. And I've been seeing a lot of butterflies. And now I don't know if I'll see any more because the weather's starting to get cold, but I saw a lot of the yellow butterflies. My name I was named in a Native American ceremony, and 2 butterflies flew over my head magically. And while I was being named, Lady Butterfly, in each direction. The people had to stand in each direction and say over again, her name is Lady Butterfly. So I'm all about the butterfly. And as you can see, I have a huge butterfly behind me. And I really try to support the butterfly effect, which means giving without expecting receiving back. Just give. Just give. Like the other day, I volunteered at a church, which I'm not too much of a church person, but I went and helped serve food. The other day, I went down and fed the homeless. All those things come back to you tenfold when you do this kind of stuff. You'd be surprised. You know, you don't see it sometimes right away, but it comes back tenfold when you are very giving and tithing and, you know, supportive. You know, even if you give $10 to St. Jude's Academy or something, or St. Jude's to help the children, or whatever you know, feel like you need to help with. I volunteer my services a lot with my psychic abilities also. So I help with that. Okay, so I'm glad you had a fun time, Karen, on the cruise. And I know John is completely with you every day, and I know you miss him in the physical, but we also have the connection with them in the spiritual, and that is never lost because they're just in another porthole in the universe. So they come through in other ways, like dreams or signs or leaving white feathers. So this is a huge way that the spirits try to come through every day. I'm going to be reading today at the Paranormal Society, but it's called October's now. Cleveland Paranormal Society switched to October's storefront. So if anybody wants to come down and see me today, I'll be in Lakewood. And October's is on off of Hilliard and Madison, right there on the corner side road where behind the New Moon. So if you all know where the New Moon in Lakewood is, because I can't think of the name of the side street right now that it's on, but there's a little parking lot behind. You can park there and come see me. You don't have to get a reading. You can just come down and see me. But I am doing readings today too. But she would like a lot more people to see her storefront at October's. So that's Jessica October, and she's involved in the House of Wills downtown Cleveland. And it's a really, really cool place, which they are going to vamp up and make it like the original funeral parlor that it was built to be in the 1908. And it was pink, totally pink. And it had Egyptian statues inside, and just amazing, wealthy, flourishing place. And right now, the Ghost brothers went in there, and one of them was too scared to even go up the steps to get in the place. So I was in there. I got through the whole thing. Believe me, I felt like I've never felt before when I was in the one room. I started freaking out and panicking and had to start praying because the energy was almost like a spirit came through me, and I felt stuck down there in the basement. So in the basement was the place where they used to take the bodies, and they'd have to drain the blood out of them and put them in the coffins. And they, it's an old funeral parlor, like I'm saying, House of Wills for all of you who just joined me, because it sounds detailed and gross to what I'm talking about. So, there were some people that were working down there, and I found out that the spirits were telling me of these people that they were stuck down there in a storm. So they went down there to get protected from the tornado that hit, but then they weren't protected. They somehow got stuck down there. Something fell or something. So I was taken on the feeling of the spirit, and I felt stuck. Like I was hyperventilating down there and couldn't get out. And I do believe that that's why the guy, one of the Ghost brothers, didn't want to go in there, because he sensed how bad the energy was, but good energy too, because they're working with the energy. But it's really a great place to visit or even go drive by if you're in the Cleveland area. House of Wills. You guys can Google that, House of Wills, because Jessica October is really involved in that. So, all right. So Tina Marie is on Facebook Hawkins, and I know you always so generously support me and on here, going Facebook Live with me. And Angelina is here watching me. And what are you all going to do today on Sunday? Are you going to do anything fun? Good. I'm glad you helped your friend, Angelina. So who else wants to ask me another question? I'm going to switch over here to YouTube and look for a question. Maria Casas says, Maria Casas, good morning. Hi, Maria. And some numbers. I don't know if that's I don't know what the numbers are, but, and will my girlfriend and I overcome a huge hurdle so we can get back together? Charles Biggs. Okay. Thanks, Charles, also for joining me over here on YouTube. And Facebook Live for you guys over here on Facebook Live. I'm multitasking today on YouTube and Facebook. So Charles Biggs on YouTube wants to know, will my girlfriend and I overcome a huge hurdle so that we can get back together? I think you can. I'm seeing it just takes, it's like a light piercing through the big tower. Oh, excuse me. I see a big tower for some reason. I don't know why I'm seeing this, like a mountain, I guess, in the vision. And the vision means that the light pierces through the mountainous, jagged towers. It's like we grow through the peaks and valleys of the mountains. That's where the flowers grow, mainly in the dark parts. Up high on the mountaintops, the flowers can grow too. But when we go through the valleys and the dips in the mountains regions, that's where we grow the most, because that's the darkest part. So I do feel like your girlfriend and you are just going through so many valleys and dips and highs and lows that you need to keep honoring that and just work through, again, that friendship. It's all about growing friendships right now with your girlfriend. And to overcome large hurdles, there are things around us sometimes that we can't help in the external world that are huge things to overcome sometimes in relationships. When relationships aren't meant to be, they overcome everything in the external world around them. And, I've been married for 16 years and I've overcome every single thing in the external world. I've even tried to be swooshed out of there for a little while, and but it just is something that a relationship's meant to be, sometimes to stay in relationships. So I think the divorce rate is high in the universe and the world. Okay, so for all of you people who hung in there for a real long time and survived dips and valleys of relationships, like Karen Larson Shapiro, she had a great relationship with her soulmate love, John, for many years. And then John died and went to the other side. But, it's just amazing that people stick together. And I really believe that that's really, it has her huge perks, when you stay in a relationship for a long time. If the relationship is not, you know, um, unhealthy for you, if the relationship is healthy for you, I should say. If the relationship is abusive, that's a reason for leaving for sure. You don't want to ever stay in an abusive relationship. Okay, so thank you all for joining me live. I have a reading coming to my house today. I saw a lot of people have an opportunity to come on camera with me. Okay, when I gotta figure this out. It says, Mariah Cassis would like to know love, money. Okay, I'm gonna just say show her. Okay, love and money. Okay, Mariah Cassis, good question. Okay, I'm just gonna listen to my spirits on this. Your spirits want you to work on knowing yourself more. That's what they keep saying. Know yourself more. You get entangled with some things that are hugely almost like a sabotage thing with love, but it just was your spiritual lessons. You're going to advance now, and I think that, it's like the kangaroo effect, that the mother carried somebody and helped them to a certain point, and then the little baby kangaroo had to get out of the pouch. I feel like you're going through something like that. I don't know why they said that, but they compared something to a kangaroo. Mothering, or even childbearing, is really strong right now. They said, though, there's a part of you that's really reclusive and likes so much of her alone time too. And I do feel like you get involved with people that also are like that, like their alone time, and they like to be reclusive, meaning they like to go in and be by themselves. I mean, our holiest of holy times is really when we're just with ourselves and source and spirit. That's the times when sometimes we feel the most enlightened. So, we can feel wonderful and have tons of friends and support and love around us, and relationships with our soulmate. But, what makes us tick the most, what makes us thrive the most? A lot of times it's about our support system with our girlfriends or male friends. If you're a male, your male friends. I do feel like your saga has been Maria. I'm sorry, I said Maria, or said Mariah, but it's Maria. That your saga has been, he'll abandon me. He'll abandon me. He'll reject me. I feel like this has been consistent for a while. Can you relate to this? So the number of your birth, you were born in 1962. Okay, so that makes you around middle age, like 55. Is that correct? Um, so, and I do feel like it will, it'll be beneficial. I see money. Sometimes you get financially stuck. So I want to say, though, you're independent too financially. So you will always stay independent. Yeah, 57. That was about it. I thought it was 55, but okay. So, because I'm not doing my math right. That's why. Because my mind is thinking psychically. So I was trying to answer the question psychically. Okay, so thank you for doing the math on me, Maria. I hope I helped you. But I do see that it's going to get better financially and love. So just keep positive and keep the faith. Okay. Okay, I'm going to hold the camera up high because that's what I'm supposed to do because it gets rid of the double chin look. Down here, if you hold the camera down here, it's supposed to be god-awful. Okay, Lana Stewart Sparks is watching. Hi, Lana. I'm over on YouTube also. So if you want to join me YouTube Live, I'm answering the questions over there. I'm getting more people to join me here on Facebook Live so that they can switch over and join me on YouTube Live. Laura H is here. Hi, Laura H. Catherine Ryan. I think I already said hi, Catherine. And yeah, you're the one that won the prize for the first one over to join me live on YouTube. And hail, hail. Message was retracted for whatever reason. YouTube didn't like your message, so sorry about that. You got to write good messages on here. You cannot write crappy messages. So who knows what the heck he was writing. But anyway, your message gets retracted from YouTube if you don't write an appropriate message. So, hey, that's the way it is in the big universe world of YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, for protecting me also. So, anyway, guys, I am so glad you joined me today live on YouTube in the studio. And I'm going to be doing more live YouTube readings in the morning, in the evening, but I will post in advance before I start or do the videos. So I'll try to post it a day in advance so I alert you guys to when I'm going to be live on YouTube. Behind me, you can see my emblem for the Spirit Dice logo. That is my app, and I'm a TV show host, author. Now I have two apps. So I'm an app developer. My one app that you can download on your iPhones is Spirit Dice. And my other app is Jane Voneman Psychic and Medium. And that is, you can find that on the Facebook page, public figure page, I believe. You can find that on there, how to download that. Cindy knows how to download. Hi, Cindy. Oh, whoops. All the comments just came out. I accidentally scrolled. Okay, so thank you all for joining me. I'm getting a little tired now. I got to do an 11 o'clock reading. So if I answer too many questions, I don't want to drain my batteries because I got readings today at 2 o'clock at October's. So thank you all for being here. Please look for my Jane Voneman and YouTube page, Jane Voneman-DuPerow Psychic and Medium page, or Psychic and Medium Jane Voneman-DuPerow is how I'm listed on YouTube. And please subscribe to me because if I can get more subscribers daily, you get your free readings. It's a win-win for everybody. Okay? Thank you all for joining me. Love you guys. And love you guys on YouTube. To get more people to come over to YouTube. Isn't that ingenious?